Good afternoon, welcome to summer, welcome to Boundary Park as well for another edition of The Boundary Line. We have a big derby win to debrief away at Rochdale in front of what was a raucous derby crowd on a baking hot afternoon at the Crown Oil Arena. And we also look ahead to our return here to Boundary Park to play Midlands this Sunday in the company of one of our esteemed coaching staff, our assistant Brendan Sheridan. Great to see you, Shez. And also Kieran Dixon, who's had a bit of everything in his very short Oldham career so far. Great tries, great goals, missed goals, kick-off out on the full, sin binning. Been quite a CV in a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
It's not too bad, is it?
That's what he brings, ladies and gents. So we're here for the next 20 minutes or so to chew the fat. Guys, let's start with Sunday. It was conditions like this. It was baking hot. You tell me, you probably got the first, I can't remember who kicked off, first touch of the football, I can't remember who kicked off, but it was quite an 80 minutes. It was an 80 minutes that could have gone either way. What was it like to play in? It was a nail-biter to commentate on.
It was an exciting game. I think what we had previewed and what we understood was their way of playing. We kind of didn't step up to the mark at the start, and that was frustrating for us all. And credit to Rochdale. It was a really good game. The weather was incredible. I enjoy playing in that sort of weather. Keeps the ground hard underfoot, so it's when I can start running around and hopefully catch some people off guard. But yeah, all in all, it was a tough win, but a win is a win, and I'm just happy we come away with the result.
Yeah, it almost felt, didn't it, like the win was the be-all and end-all of that, because to preserve that 3-point lead at the top, we're now just 5 games to go. Shez, from your point of view, when you're watching on and things aren't clicking, how are you feeling? Sean Long and Joe Wardle were over, basically sitting with me in the other standing commentary. You were over on the touchline. What was it like there, and how aware of are you during these games when things aren't clicking that you've got to change stuff?
Yeah, I think most importantly, we prep through the week, and things go wrong through the week and they go wrong at the weekend. But games like that, they're going to be intense. It's a local derby. Form book goes out the window. So it's for us, I think, backing up off the Keighley game was massive. It takes a lot of emotional energy out of you, not the physical side, and to back up. And we knew Rochdale had roll the sleeves up and have a dig. Like I said, it's a local derby, but it's intense. It's an intense week of training, especially when you're going to a derby game. So most important thing is we picked up the 2 points, a little bit scratchy in areas, but you're going to get that in a derby. It's not going to be plain sailing. So it's it was an intense environment, massive crowd, and the Oldham fans are class out there. So it's made it like an home fixture for us. So it was great. Yeah,
it was their biggest crowd in a long time at Rochdale. I think that was mainly down to our fans. Kieran, you must have sensed that. Actually, when we walked in there, I thought, I don't know if it was just the weather, I thought this feels like a cup semi-final. When you're kind of on a neutral venue, you've got, right, our fans there. The noise when you were out there and the sun was beaming down, you must have really been getting in your veins.
Yeah, I think whenever you rock up to an away stadium and you can feel your fans vibrating to the field, I think that's important. And for me, obviously, I hear a lot from the fans being on the side, on the wing, and even in when it comes to kicking goals, it's you can feel the energy and you can feel that buzz that they have inside them kind of radiates across, and it's adds pressure. But that's what we sign up for, right? We sign up to play the game. It's a pressure game, from not just from the field but from the stands. You've got to keep your fans happy, keep your coach happy, keep your friends happy that are on the field next to you. So there's pressure all over, but the fans, yeah, it brings so much. And like I say, when you're at an away stadium and they're almost louder than the home fans, it does a lot for you when you're out there.
I can tell you buy into that energy from the fans, because we saw that, didn't we, against Keighley, when you're kicking that one just over there. You could probably remember what they were saying to you, and you gave them a little bit back afterwards, which I really like to see. It's all part of the act, isn't it? All part of the drama.
Oh, 100%. I think if they can give it and try and put me off my game,
take it back.
Yeah, it's one of them ones. There's no malice in it. They're obviously trying to put me off, so I miss, and to be able to slot it and watch it sail through the middle and turn around and give them the old just be quiet, please. But no, it's all fun and games, and it's part of it. And yeah, that's what I like. It's have fun.
Just one more on the fans, and it really brought it home at the weekend, seeing that number of Oldham fans making the trip to Rochdale, which was certainly Rochdale's cup final. I don't mean any disrespect by that, but it was the league leaders coming into town from just a few miles away, and for that amount of fans to go to an away match, that was a bigger following that we've had, and you've been here a lot longer than either of us two.
Yeah.
Shez. So tell us how that feels to see the fans coming back. It's what Bill Quinn and Mike Ford want to do. It's to reconnect with the community, re-engage these fans who, for whatever reason, have stopped coming. How does that feel for you, who've been here during that period, to see it changing and coming back?
Oh, it's massive, obviously, for myself, being here it's my 5th year. So, but like we said in the other interview, is that there's been a plan put in place by the guys at the top, and they're delivering. But the most important thing, obviously, is you've got to put bums on seats, and the brand that they're selling and the content that gets out there is huge, because it's obviously helping bringing people through the gate. But I think, like we spoke before, I think I made a substitution on at the weekend, and the roar that was behind me, it made my hair stand on the back of my neck stand up. So the fans are great, and they're coming back in numbers, and like you say, you look to the left of the dugout and the Rochdale fans, and you look to the right, and we'd filled all the bottom end and things like that. But it must be amazing for these guys running out to that roar, and like Dicko said, it's a massive plus for us, because it's like an extra man. But it's massive for the club. The club's going in the right direction, and and like I said, it's one step at a time. But moving forward.
Was that raw just because you made a really good substitution? What?
Nah,
Or was it when you were coming back?
Nah, I think it was for him.
It wasn't me running on, let's put it that way. So it was just the noise. It took me off guard, to be quite honest. And I actually looked around the back, and I thought, wow, like you said, we've got we've made it an home game more or less, and it's a good feeling, because you're putting smiles on faces as well. So,
well, that's the key thing, really. It's having fans coming back, but also enjoying it again. And that's why I think where Sean Long comes into his own, because it's the brand, it's the brand of rugby league that Sean Long plays. It's what you want to come and watch, isn't it? I guess it's what you want to play in as well. You want to be exciting, you want to entertain, you want to be Harlem Globetrotters.
I think when you're playing, and you're playing with that bit of flair, there's obviously structure to what we do, but when there's an opportunity, it's go grab it, and we want to throw the ball around, we want to play attractive rugby, and we've got the players to do that, and it's enjoyable when it works. It doesn't work all the time, but we know that you can back it up with the way we defend as well. And yeah, all in all, the way we play, it's really enjoyable. It's how I enjoy playing a lot. I get my hands on the ball, I get to run around like a headless chicken most of the time, and just do as much as I can for the boys that are around me as well. And I think that's the biggest thing for me.
I can tell you've become an instant crowd favourite here. I think your energy plays a part in that, and also what we say about your engagement with the fans, the away fans and the home fans. Let's just talk for a couple of minutes about where you are, Kieran, in your career, and how the move here came about. How did Mike Ford and Sean Long sell you this Oldham dream that Shez has been a part of for a few years now?
It just came around. Obviously, I was over at Widnes, and this year I'd struggled for game time. I got injured early on in the year, and the boys started playing well whilst I was out. So I had a few weeks on the sideline through injury, and then just struggled to get back in. And it was coming to the point where you're having a conversation about, are you wanted next year, contract offers and X, Y, Z, and I was told that I wasn't wanted for next year, and it was obviously difficult to take. But then obviously not playing as well, it's kind of even harsher on your mental. So I kind of stepped away and had to think about what was right, and for me at that time it was asking for a release to then hopefully secure something for the future for me and my family, and that's what's most important to me. And I spoke to Longy. He coached me before at London, and he said he was interested to have a conversation, and jumped at the opportunity to meet him and Mike, and the dream of coming to Boundary Park, playing here, came in and saw the stadium, met them too, had a good conversation, and the opportunity was too good to say no to, and I'm glad I'm here, and hopefully I've made a good impact for my first few games, and I'm looking forward to finishing out the year.
Do you already feel like I mean, what, you've played three games now. Do you already feel like you've made the right decision from the 3 weeks of experience that you've had?
No, definitely. I think coming in, I knew a lot of the players through playing against them over the years, and but everything about it, the way the club is moving forward, what the visions are, where they're looking to take the club, it's all moving forward, all moving up, and it's not unattainable. It's not something that they've gone, oh, we want to do this, and it's that might take.
It's a realistic dream.
Yeah, it's a realistic one. Like I say, that's probably the best word for it. It's very realistic. You can see the actions happening, and as a player, that's what you want to see, because there's times you can be told certain things. Oh yeah, we're looking to do this, we're looking to do that, and you never see them quite making the steps that are needed for that. But yeah, I think it's very clear that they are doing that here.
I've had a few people I know who support Widnes who've come to me and say, why did Kieran leave? I said, well, I don't know, but I don't think he was offered anything for next year. But it might be an unfair question, but had they offered you something for next year, but you still weren't getting in the team this year,
no.
What would you have done?
No, it's difficult. I think that's a conversation that I'll never know the answer to, because I never had it. It was just told that I wasn't required for next year, and that was as far as it went. And decisions from that conversation had to be made on both sides, and it was, yeah, like I say, it was a tough conversations that obviously no one enjoys having, but it's part of the game.
It's brutal, isn't
it? Yeah, been around the game for a long time and experienced stuff like that, but not quite to the same extent. But yeah, it's conversations that need to be had, and even though they are tough, you can't get past them.
What's Shez? What's this guy brought in the 3 or 4 weeks he's been here, both on and off the pitch?
He just brought a load of energy. I think having Dicko and Kieran Dixon, the top try scorer, he's keeping him out of the team at the moment, so he has to be on his A game. And but he just, reviewed the last 3 games, and there's nothing better for the middles when this guy's bringing the ball back and he's beating 2 or 3 players and getting us on the front foot is massive. But what he does, he brings a wealth of experience. He can finish on a sixpence, and to have a centre like JT inside him as well. The experience on that edge is massive coming into the back end of this year with, like I say, the Rochdale game. It was probably one of our toughest games this year. So our defence had to be on it. It was a bit clunky, but you've got a champion side when you've got guys like this in the JT, and we're just pipping games like we spoke about earlier. It's not all about the big players and the fancy players. We had to dig in at the weekend, and the edges and Kieran play a massive part in that and getting us forward. So what he's brought to the team, obviously, his goal kicking is masterclass, and I know he missed a couple of weekends. I know he beat himself up as well. I could hear him talking to himself. So, but there's nothing better for a middle when you've got this guy bringing the ball back and he's skipping around players, and it's like gets you on the front foot. It's massive. So what he's brought is just a real good buzz about the place, and he's bought into the system that Longy plays, and he's fallen straight into his position, and he's been class since he's been here.
I want to ask you for some injury updates in a moment. It's a bit unfair because you're on your way to training, so you'll probably find out in a moment. In terms of your back catalogue of Super League experience, you've played with some of the best players in some of the best teams. Oldham, touch wood, are going to win League One and go up as champions and play in the Championship next year. How good do you think this team is now? Where do you think we are?
In all honesty, I think we have a team that competes at the top end of Championship. And that's not trying to big it up because I'm here. The players that we have, the experience, like you said, we've got a lot of players with Super League experience, and they're the players who aid the other lads who might not have the same level of experience, but to come in training, this is how we train, blah blah blah, and to maintain that standard. And I think I spoke to Longy, and he said there's a few players that have bitten in on that and kind of rising to the challenge and going along with them players as well, which is really good for the squad. And I feel like we've got a team that competes at top end of Championship, if I'm being honest.
I think he's just giving away your game plan. That's what you say. This is how we play blah de blah de blah. Is that how you start your video review sessions?
Oh, they're pretty minimal, and not too much information gets passed across, because like he touched on there, we've got a wealth of experience from, you know, one edge to the other, and you know, and they've all bought into, like I say, the way the brand of rugby that Long is playing, and you know, long may it continue. Like I said, there's 5 games to go, and you know, we've just got to keep turning up week in, week out.
Answer these injury questions as best you can, Shez. I know you'll probably know more in a couple of days as we get towards the end of the week. The big one we always get asked on Ruffians TV whenever I meet fans, what's going on with Mackenzie Yeh? Now, like, you wouldn't believe how often we are asked that question. Even if we're talking about ticket sales, marketing, commercial. Yeah, but what about Mackenzie Yeh? It's what the fans want to know. When are we seeing the wrecking ball from Papua New Guinea out on the pitch? Great news last week, full contact training. How did he go? How did he look? And when might we be seeing him, do you think?
Well, he looks big and scary. So as I were reffing, I was making sure I was reffing the other side, because when he was carrying the ball, he's a big thing. You know, he's hard to stop, but it's awful to see any bloke with an injury and struggling to get back. And I think most important for Mackenzie is he's been able to lace his boots up and get out there with the boys. It's one of the hardest things to do. I'm sure Kieran's done it as well, is when you're on the sideline and you're watching the boys train, it's such a tough place to be. So you've got to be emotionally and mentally strong, and you know, he's carried himself like a true professional as Mackenzie. And you know, seeing him out there last week, like he said, it's, you know, it's a breath of fresh air, because you don't want to see anybody on the sideline struggling. And you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll be running out in front of this packed crowd here, and you know, I'm sure all the fans will get behind him, because he'll be a cult hero once he gets to the steamroll.
And that's what he wants more than anything. He's just been standing there at training, wanting to get involved. He just wants to play here. Did you manage to stay out of his way in that training game?
Like I say, I've played many games, met many big men, and avoid them with all costs. And I've seen him train, and yeah, he's a big fella, and I do my best to stay away.
Yeah, I'll sit this one out. I'm just feeling something in my hammy. Speaking of big guys, Craig Kopchak's been nursing something. He's been out. I think George Hurst as well, and Ben O'Keefe. They're the 3 that I've got off the top of my head who haven't been involved in the last couple of weeks. How far do we know where those 3 are?
I think it's one of them. I won't want to put a guess out there, but I think they'll be back into training this week. Okay. Like I say, it's unfortunate. I think it's more niggles with players now. I don't think there's anything long term in there, but we've got good medical staff, so they'll get the boys up and ready and prepped and things like that. And no doubt we'll see all 3 of them back before the year's end. So they just need to keep ticking their boxes in terms of prep and mental preparation. It's emotionally draining when you're not, like we said, when you're not playing. So you know, they just need to keep ticking their own box and making sure their prep's right. And I'm sure the medical staff and Longy will make the decisions when the time comes.
There were a couple more, of course, from the weekend. Brad Gallagher went down. He told me afterwards he blacked out, but we think he's all right, isn't he? He just needs to drink a bit more water by the sounds of it. with all due respect. Danny Craven's looked a little bit more serious, isn't it? And we know he's been assessed this week.
Yeah, I think both of them is just precaution. I think DC, I think he's carried a couple of niggles anyway, but DC, like a trooper he is, he'll do his best to get back anyway. Brad, it was a little bit scary with Brad.
Scary, yeah.
You know, I was close in there, and you know, watching the poor lad on the floor, it breaks your heart. So, but Brad will be fine. I think, like you say, I think maybe some tweaking in his prep, but it was a mega hot day, and like Kieran says, some people prepare in different ways, mate. You know, Brad, I'm sure he'll analyse what his prep was like for that game, and you know, fingers crossed it was just precaution taking him off. And you know, we've checked in on him yesterday and Sunday night, and he says he's fine. I think it's more in his own head than it is, making sure he's right. So, but I'm sure they'll be fine.
Hydration is key, right?
That's it. That's exactly it. Especially when it's this hot. Let's spend the last couple of minutes talking about being back here on Sunday. I guess on the pitch we want to keep building on the performances. Off the pitch we want to keep building on the attendances. We've had 2 big games, Keighley and the derby with Rochdale, which have been fantastically attended, and we're so keen for the running now, these remaining games, just to keep the bums on seats and the noise level up. Performance wise, you want to finish the season 100% now, win every single game, don't you, from now on?
No, definitely. I think finishing the year with 100% completion from now is the goal. It's the target, and it's week by week though. I think it's very easy to look past your opponent and say, look, we need to finish the year on 100%, but we can only do that by winning the game that's this week. So that's probably the biggest focus, is week to week. I know that sounds so cliche, but you can't get any more true than that. We need to focus on this week, getting this one boxed off, and then we can look at what comes next. But yeah, we want to be winning all the games that we're playing, and especially at home. Your home ground is where you don't really want to be losing, and yeah, I think we're in for a good one this weekend.
Midlands, one of those teams, Shez, that arguably, and I mean this with a great deal of respect, them trickier than they look. You and Sean have spoken about them being a potential banana skin. I know that.
Oh, they've got a really big back five, like we spoke about. They bring the ball back. They're well coached, and these are the teams that, if you don't prep right for them, they will turn you over. You know, good thing about us is we can play a brand of rugby, but we can defend tough as well. You know, our discipline wasn't the greatest last week, but you can't give sides too much ball, because teams like Midlands will take advantage. They beat us in the playoffs, in the last game of the season last year, and you know they can win games, and they've got some good halves in there as well that steer the team around. So, like Dicko says, you want to be winning games at home, but it's, you know, let's try and get the fans through the gate, not just for the big games like Keighley. Every game's a massive game for us going into the end of the season. So the boys know, because they took us really close last time we played them down there. Yeah. It was only for the last 10 minutes we pulled away. So just like we did Sunday, it's going to be an 80-minute performance. If not, we'll they'll catch us with our pants down. But where the boys prep through the week, and the information that gets passed to them, you know, they train like full-time professionals. So mentally, I know the guys will prep right. Just got to be ready for it. You know, we don't get a smack in the face on the way.
Yeah, consistency, the key to performance on the pitch and off it. If you're one of the Oldham fans who's come back this season, keep coming, keep enjoying the rugby league. And if you do have friends who've basically lapsed and used to be fans and aren't anymore, get them back. Tell them we're onto a good thing here. The style of rugby league is good, the performances are good, the results are great, and the match day experience, we should mention as well, fantastic. Starting just in the fans bar just underneath this stand from 12 o'clock, where we have live music from our resident band, and there's all kinds of things going on. We have a kicking competition at half time, we have a dance troupe entertaining the crowd as well, and then we have Kieran and his mates entertaining over 80 minutes or so. So make sure you get down here and support the hottest ticket in town. Final word perhaps to you as the new boy, Kieran, if your friends and family are watching this, or any people who haven't been along to watch you yet, what would you be saying to fans who perhaps haven't come and experienced what we offer here at Boundary Park this season?
I think it's a great experience, especially from playing. I think I can talk from being on the field, and like I said, feeling the fans from the stadium and the seats. It's electric, and that brings energy to the field, and again, hopefully that reciprocates itself from us feeling them to them feeling us, and we can just bring that great vibe. And like I say, for families as well, like you said, there's music, there's competitions, there's loads of stuff going on. So yeah, I think it's a great place to be. Like you say, if you've got friends and family, bring them along.
It's been great having you both. Thanks for sparing the last 20 minutes or so to join us here on the touchline. Just about stayed off the pitch here at Boundary Park, but we're back here Sunday. It's the Ruffians against Midlands. Get your tickets online, get down early, enjoy what we have to offer on and off the pitch, and we'll see you then. Thanks again for watching The Boundary Line.